Throughout history, there have been many wars, some much more brutal than others, but none of them hold the candle to the war of today. The war of the collectible movie theater popcorn bucket. Movie studios fighting tooth and nail against one another to see who can create the most exciting, the most collectible, and the most suggestive popcorn bucket of them all. And you know what? I freaking love this war. I hope it goes on for 1,000 years. Now, collectible popcorn buckets for movies have been a thing for quite a while now, but it seems like in the last year or two, they have really stepped up their game as far as creativity and overall cool design for these popcorn buckets. And to think the one that really kicked things up into a real frenzy this year was the Dune Part 2 popcorn bucket, which of course everybody was talking about for quite a while because of the cool sandworm design, which if you kind of look at it a certain way, it might, paint a picture in your mind, if you will. So recently, I've been thinking about all the cool movie popcorn buckets that have been coming out, and I thought to myself, hey, wait a minute. I've got quite a few of these little fuckers. How about I show them all to you? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. So let's get into it. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. And, yeah. I own a lot of plastic that you're supposed to put food in, but I don't think I've put food in any of these. So like I showed off in the beginning there, I do of course have the Dune Part 2 popcorn bucket, and I think this design is overall really cool. They could have just done like the regular bucket and not do the topper, but I think the topper is just really neat. Now, I have not eaten out of this because I am not a weirdo. Now, chances are if you're watching this video, you've got a couple cool collectible popcorn buckets yourself, maybe some that I've got, maybe some that I don't have, but I would love to hear down below your favorite popcorn bucket, whether it be, I don't know, Dune or Deadpool and Wolverine, which no, I did not get that one. I really tried to. So next up, this is one of my absolute favorites. It's the Batman popcorn vessel, and of course it's shaped like Robert Pattinson's cowl from the movie. I think this is just super cool. It's got some really nice detail with all the stitching in it and the way it just kind of creases around to form the shape of his skull and everything. It is incredibly movie accurate for being a piece of plastic that you open that part out and that's where the popcorn goes. And funny enough, when these came out, when the movie was coming out in March of 2022, my local theater didn't get them for like a month straight. I remember I was calling like not every day, but like every few days being like, yeah, do you guys have the Batman popcorn vessel yet? And the poor theater employee on the phone was like, no sir, we don't have the popcorn bucket, please try again later. And it wasn't until going to see Morbius opening night they finally got these, so I had to witness Morbius, but I got the bucket, so that's pretty cool.
This is a bucket.
Dear God.
There's more.
No.
Well, speaking of the Batman, I've got one more from that movie, and that's this basic Cinemark one. It's just an actual literal bucket. And I thought this one was really cool. It's got Robert Pattinson's chest on there, then got the basic logo on the back. Thought this was really neat, you know. Did I need to pick this up? No, but, you know, every year there's usually a couple movies where I'm just so hyped for them that I want to get just any piece of merch I can get my hands on. And this bucket was one of them. But, you know, also it's still really cool, and I like the red interior to match the marketing and all of that. It makes for a cool display item in the bedroom. What? So, moving right along, this is my most recent pickup, and that is the super cool, alien Romulus popcorn bucket, shaped after the Xenomorph's head, of course. Now, this is the one from Regal Cinemas. Cinemark also had one of their own, which was a bit bigger and thicker and all of that, but that one sold out, like, immediately. Like, I tried calling every Cinemark in town. They were completely sold out, like, in less than a day. It was crazy. But then when I found out that Regal was gonna have one of their own that had, like, the neck and everything, I was like, oh, cool, I must go get that. And luckily, they had, like, a million of them when I went. Only had to take one stop to get it, and I'm super satisfied about that. And also, one other bonus is that this one is modeled after the Xenomorph from the movie, whereas the one from Cinemark, that one apparently is modeled after the Xenomorph from Alien Covenant, so this one's more readily available and it's movie accurate, so ergo I win. It wasn't until picking up this popcorn bucket that I realized just how truly phallic the Xenomorph's head really is. I'm gonna put this away now. So I guess in the vein of recently acquired popcorn buckets, I've also got this claptrap bucket from the Borderlands movie, courtesy of AMC. And yeah, if you saw my video on the Borderlands movie, you know that I did not care for it greatly, but I thought this bucket was really cool. And if you push his eyeball there, it lights up. And yeah, it's some really nice detail in there, and it kind of hobbles a little bit, so it's almost like it's actually on a wheel. And I figured that if and when I become a fan of the Borderlands games, I'll have this cool little collectible that represents the games and stuff, and not the movie, only the games. What are you talking about? And as you can probably tell by now, a lot of these collectible buckets are modeled after like heads and masks from characters and stuff, and I've got quite a few of them here, so basically when anybody comes over, I'm like, hey, come check out my collection of severed heads, including this one of Billy the Puppet from Saw X. Now this is probably one of my favorites as well. It's got some really nice detail, and I think if you just do little eyesies pokesies like that, they light up too. This would probably make for a really cool Halloween decoration this year. And yeah, we open that up and you can put the popcorn in there. And this was super cool. This one was also a little difficult to find, but not too bad. I was able to get one fairly easily in the end, but yeah, Cinemark, they know what they're doing with these sometimes. So I guess to round out the collection of heads, I've also got this cool Ant-Man one from Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. Now, Quantumania was not a great movie, but I really wanted to get this popcorn bucket because, you know, I like having these sort of like collectible masks and stuff for the display in the background and stuff like that. And, you know, I figured I'm probably never going to get like the Marvel Legends collectible mask you can actually wear. This one's a bit smaller too, more compact, it's cheaper as well. So I figured, why the heck not? And yeah, I really like it. And I think it lights up a little bit too. Yep, right there. You can't see it too well, but yeah, cool little display item for sure. So next up, we've got this fake gold looking one for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, again, this is one of those movies where I was super hyped for. It's the most anticipated movie of 2023, so of course, any chance for a cool collectible, I was gonna take it. And yeah, this one, you know, this one's alright, to be totally honest with you. It's not the most exciting thing on planet Earth, you know, it's got that kind of ancient gold vase pottery sort of look, and the Indiana Jones logo is like a little bit embossed in there. So this one's not the most exciting popcorn bucket ever. However, to go along with it, Cinemark also had these super cool-ass collectible soda cups with the logo and a cool little piece of artwork on the cup, but the lid is Indy's fedora. That is f***ing awesome. So for something a little bit more colorful, I've got this Toy Story 4 popcorn bucket that's got Woody, Buzz, and Bo Peep, and then we've got the logo on the back. This one's from AMC, and this is another one of those where it's like, I didn't need to get this, like I wasn't like waiting for weeks for it to come out or anything, but you know, it was opening night for Toy Story 4, I was hyped through the roof, so I was like, it, we ball, and I do not regret it because it's really cool. It goes with a bunch of my other Toy Story collectibles really well, and yeah, we got a Toy Story 5 coming. What are you gonna do for popcorn buckets there, guys? Moving right along, I've got this cool Spider-Man No Way Home popcorn bucket. This one's from Regal, I believe, and this one's interesting because this one feels more like just a bucket than a popcorn bucket. It's got the handles on the side and stuff. This one's, you know, again, this is not like a super exciting one, but again, opening night, hype through the roof, wanted to have a little souvenir to commemorate it, so I did. And it's actually a really good size though. Like if you wanted to, like, I don't know, put trick-or-treat Halloween candy in it or something, you could. So I guess while we're on the subject of buckets you can put stuff in, I've got this one for Wonder Woman 1984. You know, say what you will about the movie, but yeah, I thought this one was really cool looking. It's got a gold finish to it. It's got the Wonder Woman logo there. It's got the movie's title right there. It's got a cool metallic magenta pink inside and stuff. And as you can tell, I use this to store very random odds and ends like the batteries and flashlights and screwdrivers and Captain Underpants cutouts. Sometimes a movie is a better popcorn bucket than it is a cinematic experience. So, last but not least, these were all in no real particular order, but I thought this one would be kind of cool to save for last. This is my Black Panther Wakanda Forever bucket. This one's really neat because, once again, it lights up like so many of them do. And I really like the design of this one. It's got a very cool, like, Wakandan vibranium look to it. I don't know, it looks more premium than your typical popcorn bucket. The only downside is that it's a little flimsy if you kind of rock it around like that too much. But again, I didn't buy it to actually eat out of. I just bought it to sit on a shelf and collect dust in the background of YouTube videos the way God intended. So that's my complete movie popcorn bucket collection. If you want to see another cool video from me, I got just the thing right over here. Otherwise, we'll see you on the Brockopp side.